Somewhere in the earth is buried a horse of gold. And buried in this story are the clues that will lead you to that secret place. Find, link, and follow the clues that hide in each chapter of our tale. And you will come to understand this map, for it shows you exactly where to dig. But do not dig too deep. Break no law. Take no risk. It waits in a safe place. And when you find it, look into the heart of the golden horse. For there hides the key to a great fortune. Waiting. It waits for you. Treasure was the name of the stallion, and he was wild as the wind. The blacksmith had given this great horse as a gift to his daughter. Yet though she loved the stallion, she was still too young to ride him alone. She could only sit on him with the help of her father's strong hands. She dreamed of the day she could ride him out of the forest and over the land to the faraway sea. Her father saw the dream in his little girl's eyes and decided to give her another horse. This one, forged of gold. He fired the yellow metal and poured it molten from the ladle into the waiting cast of wax and sand. was her treasure, made perfect in of solid gold. The blacksmith set the golden horse to cool by the window. It was a treasure that should last forever. Yet tomorrow, it would be gone. That night, the little girl dreamed. She dreamed her stallion carried her to the swelling sea, his mighty hoofs like hammers pounding. By the hearth, her father readied her golden gift. He opened its heart, for there he had made a secret place to hide a secret key, to wait for her to find when she was ready. After her father left the gleaming horse, her dreams grew strange. For something dark and dangerous now came through the house. It was the man with black gloves. Gone. Her stallion and her father. Both gone. And with them disappeared all that was precious in her life. She sent a kite to help her find her treasure. The kite soared into the sky, higher than the leaves of even the tallest trees. But her missing treasure was nowhere to be seen. Time passed like the wind. Every year she sent greater numbers of kites to find her missing horse. Big kites, little kites, kites common and kites strange, kites with fish and frogs and birds and the things they eat. And the kites asked the wind, and the wind swept everywhere to see what it could see. One day, after 13 years, a kite came back to the girl and said, "To find your treasure, you first must find your father's grave." She journeyed to a place where people took their final rest. There in the old cemetery, she searched for the grave of her father. She was uncertain where he lay, but each step took her closer, closer to him, and to herself when she was small. As she laid the flower on his grave, she knew the horse was near. It was treasure, unchanged as if frozen in time. And then he was gone, without a trace. Lions guarded the House of Fortune. Still she ventured in. And pieces of luck. She tried her hand at the machine of fate, but all she sought were clues to help her find the way to her treasure. Well, said the woman, clues could be anywhere, anywhere at all. To collect the clues, you must take the journey. But beware of the man, who is also a bird. He will try to trick you and make the truth seem false. Though the path is simple, it is well concealed. Each card is a door, said the woman. I have dealt. But you must choose. Puzzles take you to strange places if you want to find missing things. And you must have the courage to look at familiar things in new and different ways. What she saw was a strange new world. A world both pure and cruel. Yet clues might be anywhere. So she forced herself to stay and to see. That night, she returned and hid. In the kitchen, a woman wrote in a language she did not understand, and yet the words were beautifully formed. Tomorrow she would get a book and begin to gather the strange things she was seeing. The city. It was no place to find a horse. Not her horse. She knew that roads which started in the city led in all directions. How could she leave the city and find the right direction?
Searching my dreams for my innocence, wondering where did it go? Who is the thief that came and stole it from me? What I wouldn't give to know. Oh, oh, oh. Climbing the thorns of my memory, searching for something I lost. When it's right there in front of me, can I really shoulder the cost? Whoa, the answer must lie somewhere, hidden in the secrets of the code. Or am I just a passenger, blind to the seduction of the road?
The road was a landscape all its own, Driving it day and night, she heard whispers, rumors, stories of a corral in the desert that held a phantom horse. She knew it had to be her treasure. But the corral was empty. And she was alone without a trail to follow. The blackbird circled her once, then led her away, out into the waiting wilderness. She had left everything behind, and now she was lost. There were footsteps everywhere, but they were all her own. Sand turned to rock, and the rocks towered above her. She knew she could not find the way back. So she climbed to the highest peak. No matter how high she had climbed, the black bird soared always above her, waiting in the sky. The wilderness seemed to go on forever. At last, she said to herself, "A guide. My kingdom for a guide." Finally, she found a man who was a keeper of maps. He lived in a small house far from the main road.
Lost, huh? Come on. Come on in. A lot of people are lost nowadays. They can't find the place they're looking for. You gotta have a map. Any place you want to go, you gotta have one of these. I got all kinds of maps and maps. The key is you gotta know where you're going. Oh, there are a lot of places. There are a lot of places you could go. But I got the maps. Oh, yes, ma'am. You can't have too many maps because you never know what place you're gonna have to find. You know, most folks, they're wasting their time. They don't know where they're going. I don't even have to leave this house anymore. No. I got all these longitudes, latitude, degrees, meridian, south of east, north of west, any directions you want to find. You keep looking for it now. Stay with it. Look, you take these maps. Here. You're going to find what you're looking for. Good luck to you.
There had been a storm the night before, and all traces of the trail had washed away. The signal drew her to it. It marked an edge and seemed to offer an end and a new beginning. She found the door and entered, but it was to a degree more complicated than she had expected. She couldn't go directly up the stairs. First, she had to circle, and then find the spiral upwards. The signal was abandoned, yet it was full of promise, for she could see a great distance, and in more than one direction. She felt she had been here before. Much had changed, but the old carousel was still there. She looked for all the half-remembered horses and the single horse that was open-minded yet two-faced. As the carousel began to turn, the years, one by one, fell away. The tickets were taken. The horses went round. And now she knew where next she must go. The cold came early on the mountain, yet shivers of a different sort went up and down her spine. Treasure appeared without warning. He was calm, as if watching her, even waiting for her. And then, again, gone. Now the wind sang a dangerous song, and the cold sliced through to her bones. She knew she must reach shelter and a degree of safety soon. Finally, she found the lodge. But the huge door had already been barred for the winter. She could only knock and wait. She spent the whole winter at the lodge. Searches are not all searching. After great risk must come rest. Things must be thought through. lodge itself invited exploration. It was hewn from wood, with doors of many shapes and sizes. Some doors she could open, to a degree. Others she could not. As spring neared, she realized the way to move forward is sometimes to go back. It was all waiting for her. 1,000 moments left behind, yet somehow still there, waiting to be recovered, sifted through, understood. She felt herself drawn down the corridors and across the years. She found her old music box. It had soothed her to sleep on many scary nights and opened up the doorway to dreams. Finally, she came to a room that was filled just with childhood. All the toys she had ever known. And among them, the boat on which she had taken so many imaginary journeys, searching for her missing treasure. had paid for her passage, and now the paddle wheeler carried her past each debris of the mighty river. For more than a century, this boat had churned these waters, bearing people down this ancient and ever-changing route. Suddenly he was there, somehow different, more powerful than she had remembered. And again he disappeared. When she crossed to land, it was to the ancient port of Old Orleans. The music was like a musky scent that enveloped the night. It was a magical city, a frame for time that flowed together like the waters of the river, mixing the past and the present, old dreams with new. She was confused. There were so many ways to go. Alleys that might be shortcuts or lead to nowhere. There were clues all around her, yet they remained always beyond her grasp. In the morning, she came to a forest full of mist. At the entrance, animals danced a mechanical minuet that charmed her and drew her in. What were they trying to tell her, she wondered. She understood little of what surrounded her. There were statues everywhere, but time had eroded their meaning. She understood less and less, yet she was no longer afraid. She was certain there was an answer to all this, but all she could find was a book, which she had to put right back before she could continue. There had been so much to see and to think about, but now she grew quite weary. This feels comfortable, she thought. And she lay her head down to dream. At first, she dreamed only of her journey and the places her feet had touched. And then she was looking through a window, unseen by the dancers inside. They were rehearsing. But even as she watched, her feet continued to walk as if towards her treasure. Now the dancers danced a duet. And still she walked. music came to a climax, but as she watched, it was she who was the ballerina, and her partner, the man with black gloves. The second dream was quite clear. She must talk to the rabbit. She had followed him into this dream and would not leave without him.
Told no one your destination must be your imagination. You could swear somebody's out there hanging on the shadows.
All around her were ghosts. She knew the house had burned to the ground 100 years ago.
Hanging on your shadows.
These were the spirits who haunted it.
Must you suffer this intrusion? Is it his or your illusion? Now there is some real confusion. You could swear somebody's out there hanging on your shadows. Hanging on your shadows.
Even the food on the table was a memory of banquets past. Although it was, she noticed, certainly an odd selection.
I swear, baby, I am not the man. I can't say that I don't understand. That's what it takes to get through to you. I'm going through that too. Hanging in the shadows.
The rabbit was interested in the dancing girl and would have followed her away if she had not insisted. "Where is my horse?" she asked, and dreamed he answered, "Here's a clue, but I will mask it." The night had grown warm, almost tropical, and the rabbit was still there. She followed a line of burning lamps and found a courtyard where she felt strangely at ease. She called to the waiter for tea. He brought her a puzzling platter, certainly more than she had asked for. How nice of him, she thought, although I can't use all this. She opened her fortune, and the warm wind blew. How little it takes to be happy, she thought. If you know where to look, the path is always clearly marked. In the morning, the book remained in the courtyard, but she had gone. And the blackbird would follow her no longer. Now she came to an enchanted forest that had slept these many years. Footsteps over a swinging bridge brought her to air sweet with the smell of clover and hay. Past this she found the workshop of wood, her father's old place. Dust lay everywhere, for here time had truly stopped. Each article lay waiting, as if its master would soon return. On the table she found his coat, coarse to the touch, but warm and full of safety. A horse, earthen in color, lay under a chain. Beyond it were drawings she had dreamed before. In the meadow, the horse was waiting for her. He was where he had always been. She found her treasure. Now you find yours.